We got a mega-sized video for you today. Hopefully this makes up for the last video that felt kind of lackluster, if I say so myself. Not only that, but it got pulled thanks to the YouTube algorithm, which needed me to re-upload it with different panels. Ugh, what a headache.
Views.
But we have no time to dwell on the past because we have not one, but two chapters to get to. Yeah, unlike the chapter that shall not be named, the past family daily life from Nakamura is actually worth talking about. Not enough for its own full video, mind you, but worth attaching to this video. So let's speedrun this overview real quick. I'm Moonlight150, and this is my overview of not only chapter 252, but Sweats and Tears, but also the Rentaro family's family daily life, the efficient couple, and so on. Be sure to support the Scanlation Team Sunday for the hard work they put into getting these chapters out, as well as the official release in your region to support the series during this crucial time of the anime airing. Now, there's no time to waste, let's be efficient. This family daily life introduces us to Nano's parents before they became Nano's parents, and we see that they seem to have the same problem of inefficiency in the workplace. What are those inefficient problems they are facing? Lazy employees? Budget cuts? No, it's because people keep asking them out and quitting once they get rejected.
Huh?
Ah, attractive people problems. I do not relate. As they come across each other's paths in the hallway to deal with their inefficient frustration, they come to the only logical conclusion of getting married to each other to ward off any more thirsty suitors, even though they harbor no romantic feelings for one another, to the shock of all of their co-workers. After a quick married life montage and an apartment fire scare, they come to realize they actually do care for one another and each other's efficiency. They then proceed to do the only logical thing and produce offspring. And now it is my headcanon that this was the only time that they banged, because it would be inefficient to sacrifice sleep time otherwise, and this is why Nano is an only child. Though unlike most of the other family's backstories, we get a bit of present day in this chapter as well, as Nano tells her parents about her recent trip with Rentaro, her lover, and her other lovers, I mean friends, to a resort. When was this? I want to see this chapter where they all go to a resort. Nakamura is teasing me with off-screen adventures again like the beginning of the Nano Sirius arc. Or wait. Maybe this is her cover story instead of telling them that they got lost on a magical floating island that they had to jump off of to escape from. Is Nano straight-faced lying to her parents?
Were you lying?
No.
But within this conversation, Nano brings up the fact that her family has never taken any trips, and how she would like to do so like that of her friends. Which leads to her parents realizing they both wanted to go on trips as a family, but thought the other didn't. So they begin planning and eventually take a trip together to make memories of efficiency. To quickly say, I think this is my new favorite family daily life. For one, after all this time, we finally see Nano's parents, the oldest set of girlfriend's parents we have yet to see. Not only that, but they made their debut in a family daily life designed by Nakamura himself. Though I'm using the word designed rather loosely here, since Nano's mom is just Nano with color-swapped hair, and her dad is just future Nano without boobs. Nonetheless, I do prefer the structure for the family daily life. As silly as it is to see the parents meet and fall in love, what I really want is present-day stuff of seeing the girlfriends interact with other people outside of the Rentaro family. Now on to the main course, chapter 252, Rana's focus chapter. And because it's her chapter, we open with Rana working on a class assignment while hanging out with everyone on the rooftop. Is this the first time schoolwork has ever been done on the rooftop by a girlfriend? I think so. That's wild it's taken this long for a girlfriend to spend her time doing schoolwork while hanging out with everyone. We see that Iku has taken an interest in what Rana is doing because Rana's paper airplane competition is probably the closest thing to baseball anyone in the family has done in quite some time. And well, she's not playing baseball, so what else is she gonna do? After some words of encouragement from Iku, it's time for the paper airplane competition of Year 3 Class 2. Which ends with a humiliating defeat of Rana to Momiji once again. Oh, and Kurumi failed because she thought her paper airplane looked like a squid, so she ate it. But it seems like this time Rana has reached her breaking point with constantly losing to Momiji, and vows not to challenge her ever again. Though the only loser in this situation is Momiji because she won't be able to collect her reward of fondling Rana's ample bosom. We then see Kurumi and Momiji have a chat about the ethics of possibly letting Rana have a win every once in a while, but Momiji counters with the spirit of sportsmanship, saying that it would diminish Rana's victory if she didn't give it her all once Rana actually beats her at something. Some wise words from the resident groper. Iku then catches up with Rana to find out how the competition went, only to hear about Rana's loss and how down in the dumps she appears to be about it. Seeing just how much the loss is affecting her, Iku invites Rana out to the baseball field after school. Wait, the baseball field? Iku is actually wearing her baseball uniform! It's been 3,000 years. Though not everything is as wholesome as you think, as Iku invited Rana out onto the field to literally kick a girl while she's down. Or less kick and more beat mercilessly with a bat. 1,000 swings butt paddling to be precise. But after refusing to partake, Iku and Rana sit down to have a heart-to-heart. Man, when Nakamura decides to cook with giving a girlfriend a monologue to another girlfriend, it's good stuff. Obviously I won't spoil it all because I want you to go appreciate the work both Nakamura did writing it and Sunday for translating it. But the core of the pep talk monologue that Iku gives is the value of hard work and constantly trying to better yourself. We even learn that Iku wasn't naturally gifted at baseball and was considered the worst of her team when she was first starting out. But because she loved it so much, she didn't give up and she kept pushing herself to get better until eventually she got where she is today. Rana then chimes in with how much she works on everything in her life because, as she admits, it takes her longer to learn things than most people. So she feels like she has to put in more work than everyone else just to play catch up. Which is what angers her so much in regards to Momiji, because she is just one of those people with raw talent to just pick up and do just about anything, making it feel like all the hard work is in vain. Now, as the connoisseur of hard work that we know Iku is, even if it comes off as weird most of the time, what she points out to Rana is the fact that her hard work hasn't gone in vain. That yes, she may not have beaten Momiji, but she did beat the version of herself who didn't put in the hard work. Hell, rewind back to earlier in the chapter for the paper airplane competition. Yeah, Rana came in 5th, losing to Momiji who came in 4th, but remember, doesn't the average classroom have around like 30 kids? She bested all of them who also probably put in a lot of work. Not only that, but as Iku points out, the hard work she's put into her grades has now landed her the position she has now as class president, as well as some of the top grades of her whole class. Her hard work isn't without merit, and wasn't a waste of time like Rana thought. The Rana who put in the work no matter what it is will always be better than the Rana who didn't even try. But she was so focused on only beating Momiji that she took for granted her other achievements. Another situation of not seeing the forest through the trees kind of analogy. Or maybe a better one is not seeing the bigger picture because you were focused on the corner. You know what, I'm out of analogies. But old habits die hard because immediately after Iku gives this rousing speech about believing in the hard work that you do, she immediately turns things right back around to getting her butt paddled, comparing the version of herself who did and didn't survive the 1,000 butt paddling. Which goes right back to the initial reason Iku brought Rana out to the field and begins smacking Rana with the bat. Which immediately has Rana calling quits on anything more than 1. As Rana points out that this butt paddling isn't about self-improving, but just masochism through and through. But Iku offers to do a role reversal and have Rana do the swinging instead. Which, when life gives you lemons to take out your frustration, hit that lemon on the ass with a metal bat 1,000 times, I guess. Which they do just that. 1,000 butt paddles, which takes them all the way into the night. Would it though? I mean, yeah, it's 1,000, but they are just bat swings. Time for some weird math. I think it's a safe guess that the average swing of a bat then getting back into batting position would take around 2 to 3 seconds. Let's say 3 seconds for each swing because Rana isn't the athletic type. So you just multiply 3 by 1,000 for 3,000 seconds, which is about 50 minutes. But like I said, Rana isn't the athletic type, so as the swings go on, she'll probably get more exhausted. So let's raise that to maybe 5 seconds between each swing if she was able to keep up the pace. So now we're looking at around 5,000 seconds, which is about 83 minutes, almost an hour and a half. And let's throw in a couple more minutes just because of the exhaustion factor again. So I'd say this whole endeavor probably took around an hour and a half. No wonder Rana is trembling in this panel here on the final swing saying her arms are about to fall off. Though I do question Nakamura making it dark out. Did you not do the math, Nakamura? Probably not. Though within a span of an hour and a half, it could easily become dark out depending on when they started. We don't know when their school lets out or if they meet immediately after school. Anything revolving around time in this series is always a mystery. But with one last motivational yell by Iku, Rana was able to complete that one last swing and completing the 1,000 butt paddle, swinging having the last one, as Iku says it, driven right into her rear. Oh, Iku, what are we gonna do with you?
Initiate me by smacking me on the butt with a bat?
Which lets Rana have a celebratory cry about the hard work she put into this feat. Sometimes you just need a good cry to let it all out. And with that, the following morning comes and Rana has a renewed motivation to keep up her competitiveness with Momiji, determined that there will always be more work that she can put into herself. And no, I'm not buying that Rana is dysfunctional the following morning. Her arms should be dead. And thankfully Momiji is rejoiced by her rival finding her spark again to continue challenging her, so that they can both keep up the hard work they put into what they do. And Rana has a new comrade within the family with Iku. So am I wrong to say that this is one of the stronger focus chapters for a new girlfriend? At least as of recently compared to the last handful. Instead of focusing on Rana's trauma regarding how she perceives her own body and lewdness in general, which was quite the focus in her introduction and Meet the Family, her focus chapter focused on her other aspect, or I guess her other trauma, her competitiveness, particularly with Momiji. Not only that, but I think I like that she didn't completely bury the hatchet with Momiji. They didn't decide to end their competitiveness or tone it down because they now share a boyfriend or anything like that. It was just Rana getting taught a life lesson in the most 100 girlfriends way possible. And like I said, not everything was resolved. Momiji and Rana will continue to compete against one another, but hopefully now moving forward, Rana won't be so hard on herself and keep pushing herself to try harder. But like Iku said, to also appreciate the achievements, the hard work she has put in, and where she has gotten because of it. There is still that problem with her perception about her own body and what is and isn't indecent. But maybe just being exposed to the Rentaro family from here on out will just cure that naturally. It'll be interesting to see how Rana develops from here on out. I also love the mention that Rana is aware of the baseball game that they had. Between this and Era's mention of the food eating competition, it's just humorous to imagine that whenever a new girlfriend joins, they just sit around and tell stories of all the things they have done as the Rentaro family. And just speaking of Rana in general, she has been this boost that some girlfriends have needed. Momiji, Iku, Hakari, and even Karumi to an extent all got some character development boosting from Rana being around. Momiji especially, and Iku finally given time to shine as a real character instead of what she has been for some time. What's that old saying? A rising tide lifts all boats? Well, Rana sure has been the rising tide for all 3 chapters that she's been in, and I'm excited to see what this kind of character does, as long as she doesn't fall by the wayside like so many other recent girlfriends. And I hope many of us take Iku's words to heart, because before all of the butt paddling, there were some real nuggets of wisdom in there. Whatever you're working toward right now, whether it's school, your career, your health, a creative project, or simply just trying to become a better version of yourself, don't let yourself believe that your hard work is going unnoticed. Progress isn't always loud or immediate, which feels hard and frustrating because in this day and age we are so used to instant gratification. It's easy to compare ourselves to other people who are doing what we can only dream to do. We all do it. But when it comes to the effort that you've put into your own life, the only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you used to be. Think about where you were a year ago. Think about what you've learned, what you've overcome, and all of the work you've put in that nobody else saw. Maybe you're not where you want to be just yet, but you're not the same person you were when you started. Every hour you spend studying, practicing, creating, working, or simply refusing to give up is worth something. None of that effort is ever wasted. So wherever you are on your journey, keep putting in that hard work. Or Iku might come over and beat your ass with a metal bat 1,000 times until you learn this lesson the hard way. So go easy on yourself and try not to compare your journey to someone else's. Like Iku said, compare yourself to the person you were yesterday. If you're putting in the effort, if you're learning, if you're refusing to give up, then you're already moving forward. To pull a quote from one of my favorite motivational posters regarding trying to be more active, no matter how slow you go, you're still lapping everyone on the couch. And I think that can be used in almost any situation and not just exercise.
It gets easier.
Huh?
Every day it gets a little easier.
Yeah?
But you gotta do it every day. That's the hard part. But it does get easier.
Now that I've done my good deed of spreading a good message, I need to crash out for a bit. Because next week is a goddamn Tama focus chapter. What the hell? Is Nakamura Santa Claus and has decided Red has been a very good boy this year, and not only has fulfilled Red's wish of making 2026 the year of Iku like he willed into existence at the beginning of this year during our stream?
2026 is the year of Iku, I swear to God.
But now he's getting a Tama focus chapter immediately following that? Where are the chapters for my favorite girlfriends? Ugh, 2027 better be my year. Anyway, I'm gonna go sulk in a corner. I've been Moonlight150, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see me have to deal with a Tama chapter next week. And check out all of the bonus content I've been putting out recently in regards to the anime, with reactions to the original Japanese version, and dubbing study sessions with the English dub. These videos are pretty much the reason why these chapter reviews are later than usual, so go support them while they're here. I'll see you all next week.
Du steppte, tatt, du baksen i fin